Does your baby bring up milk after every feed? Do they cry and arch their back in discomfort? Well, if so, you're not alone. Reflux is incredibly common in newborns, but many parents wonder if there's a cure. Stay tuned, because today I'm going to talk you through what reflux actually is, why it happens, and the strategies that can help make life easier for both you and your baby. Hello, I'm Melanie McGrice, a prenatal and early life dietitian and foster carer who's currently caring for my 9th baby. And I help parents navigate those tricky first months of life with nutrition strategies that support both babies and families. If you'd like practical, evidence-based tips, make sure that you hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Now let's talk about reflux. Reflux is when milk comes back up from your baby's stomach into their esophagus and sometimes out of their mouth. It happens because babies have immature digestive systems. Their lower esophageal sphincter, the little valve between the stomach and the esophagus, isn't fully developed yet. And that means milk can easily wash back up, and often over you, in your slippers, over your dressing gown, over your clothes, onto the carpet. The first thing to know is that reflux is usually harmless though, other than a lot of washing. And most babies grow out of it by about 12 months as their digestive system matures. But while it's common, it can look very different from one baby to the next. Some babies are what we call happy chuckers. I've got one of them at the moment. They bring up milk frequently and they don't seem bothered by it. They're content, gaining weight and not in pain. For these babies, it's messy and inconvenient, but usually nothing to worry about. Other babies, though, seem really uncomfortable. They might cry, arch their back, refuse feeds, or wake frequently because of discomfort. If this sounds like your little one, then reflux can feel exhausting and stressful for you as well as for your baby. That's where we need to really closely look at some strategies that might help. Now, the first step is always looking at feeding. Sometimes the issue is simply volume. Newborn stomachs are teeny tiny, about the size of a walnut in the early weeks, so big feeds can overwhelm them. Offering smaller, more frequent feeds can reduce the pressure on their tummy and limit how much milk washes back up. Burping your baby during and after feeds also helps. Think of it like releasing the pressure valve. Trapped air in the stomach increases the likelihood of milk coming back up. Gentle burping breaks in the middle of a feed can make a real difference. If you're bottle feeding, the type of teat and the flow rate matter too. A teat that flows too quickly means that your baby gulps air and overfills their tummy, which can make reflux worse. Swapping to a slower flow teat or trying paced bottle feeding, where you hold the bottle more horizontally and give your baby pauses during the feed, can help them manage the milk more comfortably. Positioning is another key strategy. Keeping your baby upright during and after feeds can help reduce reflux. Hold your baby against your chest or use a baby carrier, which I love, for 20 to 30 minutes after feeding rather than laying them flat straight away can make a real difference. Just remember that when it's time for sleep, your baby should always be placed flat on their back in their own cot following safe sleep guidelines. Now, let's talk about sensitivities. One common factor is lactose. Some babies struggle to handle large amounts of lactose, which can lead to gas, bloating, and reflux. So if you're breastfeeding, one strategy is block feeding, offering the same breast for a few hours before switching to the other. This helps your baby get more of the higher fat milk that comes later in a feed, which is easier to digest than the very lactose-rich foremilk. If your baby is formula fed, some parents find that switching to a goat milk based formula helps. Goat milk has slightly smaller fat globules and a different protein structure, which can be gentler on some babies' tummies. Now, if symptoms persist, the next possibility is cow's milk protein intolerance. In these cases, proteins in cow's milk can irritate your baby's gut, leading to more reflux and discomfort. If you're breastfeeding, your dietitian may guide you through temporarily removing cow's milk protein from your diet. If your baby is formula fed, then your doctor or dietitian may recommend a specialised formula. Now, if you're finding these strategies useful so far, please give this video a quick thumbs up because it really helps more parents like you to find the support that they need. Now, one other option is thickened feeds. Some babies do better when their milk is slightly thickened, as it helps the milk to stay down in the stomach. Now, there are special thickeners available and some formulas come pre-thickened. But thickened feeds are not suitable for every baby, especially preterm babies. So always check with your healthcare team before making changes. So, what might a day look like with a refluxy baby? Well, let's take a practical example. Instead of giving one big feed every 3 to 4 hours, you might feed a little bit more frequently, say every 2 to 3 hours with smaller volumes. During the feed, you pause to burp your baby once or twice. Afterwards, you keep them upright on your chest for 20 minutes while you sip on a glass of water and catch your breath. If you're breastfeeding, you might use block feeding to reduce lactose overload. And if you're bottle feeding, you need to make sure that you're using a slow flow teat and pacing the bottle. Now, none of these things cure reflux instantly, but together they can make a big difference in your baby's comfort and your own peace of mind. It's also important to know when reflux might be more than just a messy inconvenience. If your baby isn't gaining weight well, vomits forcefully, has blood in their vomit or stool, or seems very distressed, it could be gastroesophageal reflux disease or GORD. That's when reflux causes actual medical problems, and in those cases, further investigation and sometimes medication may be needed. So, can reflux be cured? Well, the truth is that time is the only real cure as your baby's digestive system matures. But in the meantime, you can make it much more manageable with smaller, more frequent feeds, burping, upright positioning, block feeding if breastfeeding, adjusting formula if bottle feeding, and in some cases, investigating cow's milk protein intolerance or using thickened feeds with professional guidance. Now, if you'd like personalised support for managing reflux, you'll find a link in the description box to book a consultation with one of our international team of paediatric dietitians. And I'd love to hear from you. What's been the most challenging part of reflux for you? Share your experience in the comments so that other parents know that they're not alone. And please don't forget to subscribe for more early life nutrition tips. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now. I might add in a sentence in there. That's okay. I might try and add in a sentence in there